Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Saginaw City Council. We will be led in prayer and the pledge by the Saginaw Fire Department Chaplain, William Bill Howard. Chaplain?
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, welcome into our presence, Father. With thoughts of thanksgiving still in our head, the meeting of families and friends, a joyous occasion. We thank you for the blessings that we have received this year. And as we prepare for the Christmas season, let us not forget the real reason for Christmas, the birth of your Son, Jesus Christ, the sacrifice that he made so that we may have eternal life. We bring our thoughts and prayers for our nation and for those that protect it here and abroad, for our own city, for the police and fire, emergency response people. Protect us and serve us each and every day, putting their lives on the line. And for this meeting this evening, we pray for each and every leader here, the leader in government, the issues that are brought forth before them. May they be solved with godly ideas and in a peaceful manner, and that our city can enjoy the blessings of the year to come. We do this all in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Madam Clerk, please do the roll call.
Councilmember Forbes. Present. Councilmember Bryant.
Present.
Councilmember Bench was pre-excused. Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Present.
Councilmember Scherzer.
Present.
Councilmember Millen.
Present.
Councilmember Balls.
Present.
Councilmember Ostash.
Present.
And Mayor Clark.
Here.
Present and one absent.
Thank you. Fellow council members, I would entertain a motion to waive the council rules of order and to change the order of business.
Support.
No, it needs to be a motion.
So moved.
Moved, now
I
supported.
move to support.
All right. Madam Clerk, you have the motion and the second?
Yep.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
It's a roll call.
Have to do a roll call there.
Yes.
It's a roll call.
Well, don't have a motion yet for go into closed session. That was just to waive the rules of order. Now, is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Forbes. Yes. Councilmember Bryant.
Aye.
Councilmember Bench is excused. Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Scherzer. Yes. Councilmember Millen.
Aye.
Councilmember Balls.
Yes.
Councilmember Ostash.
Yes.
And Mayor Clark.
Yes.
You have 8 ayes and 1 absent.
All right, we are in closed session. We will be back as soon as we're done. Motion to come out of closed session?
I will move we
Support.
come out of closed session.
It has been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's carried. Is there a motion regarding the closed session?
I make a motion that we approve the tentative agreement discussed in closed session with the International Association of Firefighters, AFF, Local 102, bargaining unit for the period of July 1, 2019 through June 30 for 2022.
Is there a second? Support. It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It is carried. We can now return to the regular rules of order. Yep,
Would you like to read the audience rules?
I will do so. Thank you. All right. Good evening to the audience and those present. Because this is a public meeting, We ask that all members of the audience please remain quiet and refrain from speaking, interrupting, or otherwise disrupting the meeting. Also, I remind everyone to please silence all your electronic devices at this time. Madam Clerk?
We have a couple announcements. The first is the city's yard waste collection service has been extended to December 15th, weather permitting. The city's waste convenience station is open to city residents the second Saturday of the month from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Public Works Building using the entrance off Holland Avenue. City residents may dispose of items such as building materials and recycling for cans, plastic containers, and paper. The next collection day will be Saturday, December 14th. We are now at public input.
Welcome to all those who have signed up to address council tonight. Hearing from you and from the citizens we represent is very important to us. We ask that you speak slowly and clearly so we don't miss what you have to say. When called to the podium, let us know if you will be speaking solely for yourself or on behalf of a group. All speakers will have a 3-minute limit, which is timed by the clerk, so be sure to cover your main points first. We ask that your presentation be courteous and respectful to the members of the public present, to the citizens watching SGTV, and to the council so we can give serious consideration to your concerns. All follow-ups will be referred to city staff. Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Our first speaker is Christopher Kubiak.
Mr. Kupiak.
Greetings, honorable ladies and gentlemen of the City Council, esteemed guests, Chief, Chaplain. My speech will be brief. I just want to bring up some things. I speak for myself, but also you could say I speak for others that are in the same socioeconomic level that I am. My comments are related to the City of Saginaw's branding campaign and Saginaw businesses. Excuse me. I recently applied for 2 DBAs that were not related to a company that a business partner and I had tried to get off the ground, but never did. Now, this LLC with my former business partner, as I said, never got off the ground, but was reported to the city that it was. I received a violation notice for failure to comply with city ordinance to file a business license for a business that was never formed. I was told that it was similar to one of the 2 DBAs that I had registered with the county clerk's office. This is not true because the names of the 2 DBAs were never cited on the letter, only the LLC, which never got off the ground. Now, maybe my former business partner reported this, it may not be, but there was no investigation done. No one called me, no one sent me a letter of inquest requesting me to come and, present myself, nothing. I was just cited. Now, this company, as I said, never got off the ground, but it was used as a violation. But the 2 that I had registered never were. So I canceled everything. Now, it seems that someone used their influence or came here in person to report something in waste time of the city and to also give me a record here that makes me look like I don't obey the law. Now, this being said, I'll move on to the next part of this. I took this personal because one thing that I've stood by in a military career and in a defense contractor career was my ethics. I never compromised my ethics, ever. So I'm someone who is proactive. I don't lay down for a punch. I get up, I spin it to make it positive. So I got into some research. Now, what I found out was that this is something that we could look into. And I'm not going to give up this fight because I'll fight for God, family, and the future of myself, my family, and my community. So, some of the information that I found. Now, the city of Saginaw does definitely need revenue from licenses, taxes, etc., as we all know. But one thing that I found in my research, keep this in mind, that I'm not saying that we shouldn't pay taxes or there should be no licensing fees. But what I did find that's relative to this, and I'll get back to that in a minute, is that some of these burdens on the working class and the poor for starting a business are counterproductive to the branding campaign, which focuses on local talent,
With regret, we have to call you the time. Thank you, Mr. Kupiak.
Understand. I'll be back at the next meeting.
Very good.
Our next speaker is Sherry DeFore Crocher.
Mr. Foreclosure?
Hi. I'm not as nice as him. I don't know how to say all that stuff, so I'm just going to say what I'm here for, okay? Hello. I'm here because our water rates keep going up, and I understand that this time it's something to do with the sewer. Actually, after I put my name on this list, someone from the water department actually called me. I was shocked by that. Apparently, they knew I was coming here. And the reason why I came is because, again, it's going up. Well, our water always seems to go up. I understand this one's different, that it's a mandated thing, I guess, by the federal government or whatever. Okay, I get that. But my question is, why don't we have anything that we're creating money for these things instead of sucking it to us every time? Because all the old stuff never comes off. When we're paying for one thing, it just stays on there, and then we continue to pay for the next one that comes up, right? They never come back off. So why don't we have some kind of maintenance fee? Now, keep in mind, I'm not asking you to create a millage. I'm asking you to come up with other ways. A friend of mine said, you know, if you're going to present a problem, you better have a solution. So here's my solution. Okay, I hear people out in the audience today, and they're talking about leaves. Okay, I get that. Everybody's leaves this year fell after the date that they picked them up, right? But the problem is, even when they do fall, before they pick them up, people aren't picking them up. And then they end up where? Into the drains. When they end up into the drains, then those get clogged, then we send more people out to fix that. I mean, come on, that seems like an easy fix, okay? You don't want to pick up your leaves? Let's give you a warning and then a fine if you don't pick them up, because that's going into our system, right? And then we all have to pay for it. Why pick up my leaves? I shouldn't be punished, right? Then you can create that fund and make it, of course, you can't take all that money and give it to the water department, but you could kind of proportion it. Part of it goes into a maintenance fund, part of it goes here or there or wherever you want it to go. But then you're creating a fund. Same with snow. People are throwing their snow into the street all the time. Last year I watched our mailman get stuck 3 times because people snow blow that right out into the street. You're not supposed to do that, but nobody's calling them on it. So you're saying, well, we don't have the manpower to send somebody out there and check immediately and catch them. Everybody's got a phone these days. We see it on the internet all the time that somebody's taking a video of somebody doing something. Video them, video their address, give it to you. You can send them a warning, then you can tell them if they do it again, all right, we have video of you. Next time you do it, we fine you. We put that in the same fund. You start proportioning it to the water department, to the street fund or whatever. You know, start creating these funds to create that you have a backup plan, like my grandpa used to say. He always said that you have to have a backup plan. The city hasn't one, and all of our water stuff's falling apart, right? With our streets. Where's our backup plan? We don't need to add another millage. We just need to take care of the problems we already have before us and use that as a way to create the money. That's really all I want to say, and I hope you guys have some input on that and think seriously about that, okay? Thank you.
Mr. Foreclosure. It will be referred to the management staff.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Diane Clark.
Hello, my name is Diane Klock, and I live at 2112 Gratiot Avenue, Saginaw. Years ago, when it looked like the Lee Mansion, or better known then as the Cat Lady House, was going to be demolished, many citizens came forward asking that the house be spared. Well, Alex Mixter and Alex DePerry and a host of volunteers have started the restoration process. Now you, the citizens of Saginaw, can help. Thanks to the Public Spaces Community Places Grant through the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, we are able to get a $25,000 match grant if we can raise $25,000 as a community. That means all of us. If 1,000 people donate just $25, the goal will be met. So instead of going out to the movies one night, stay in, pop up some popcorn, and watch your favorite holiday movie. Then donate the money you just saved to the Lee Mansion Restoration Project. Tell your great aunt that instead of giving her a gift this year that she probably doesn't need anyway, you are donating the money to the Lee Mansion Restoration Project. Then when it is done, take her there to see how the money was used. These funds will be used to create 3 spaces within the Lee that will be available to the public. The Commons will provide an indoor, year-round space for people to meet, have a coffee, and connect. The pop-up locale will be a place for one-off, intermittent, or short-term engagements. That means a space for micro-business and retail opportunities, workshops, meetings, and social events with an emphasis on fostering social, economic, and environmental well-being. The Welcome Center will serve as the front door to Saginaw. It will be a place for residents and visitors to learn about events, local businesses, and to connect to volunteer opportunities with local nonprofits. The shop will be stocked with locally branded apparel, merchandise, literature, and artwork, with everything being Saginawsome. Then your great aunt can pick out her own gift. From the very beginning, you, the citizens of Saginaw, have wanted to preserve this home and make it into a public space. Your support can make that happen, and if we as a community all donate just $25, it will happen. On December 7th at 4, and on the 12th and 19th at 2 p.m., for a suggested donation of just $10, you can have the opportunity to tour the Lee Mansion and see the progress that has already been made. And I encourage you to do that. You can find information to donate to the Lee Mansion Restoration Project on Facebook. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Alex Mixter.
Well, hello, I'm Alex Mixter. I live at 602 South Warren. I'm not going to be able to top what Diane said. That felt like a hype man speech, honestly. But I just wanted to come here today and to say I'm extremely grateful about this whole project. We kind of did this whole thing on a whim that if we opened it up to the public and if we had this idea to bring volunteers in, that maybe we could get this project that looked completely unlikely to happen. And it's been kind of a dream come true to see well over 150 volunteers come through. A lot of people sacrificed their entire weekends. There are people who have sacrificed their birthdays to help out. It's been a project that has been very, very, very heartening. And I have actually brought these flyers, which I believe you got as well, with or that has all of the events that are coming up soon at the Lee. There are plenty of things to get involved with, and I would urge you to join. On top of that, too, at leemansion.org, we have a pretty exhaustive history of the home. There's a lot of twists and turns on it, and it's pretty. It's an engaging subject that I'm going to be spending a whole hour talking about tomorrow at the Castle Museum. And then Wednesday, if you want to get involved, we are going to be doing a cleanup. If you can believe it, there's still plaster to haul out of that house. So we could use your help around 11 p.m., or not p.m., 11 a.m. We do late cleanups on Wednesday. So I just want to say thank you again. If I could probably spend this entire time just going around this room alone saying thank you to people who have helped out, but there's not enough time for that. So I just want to say thank you to everyone in the city of Saginaw, and I hope to see you at the Lee soon. Thanks.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
We are now at remarks of council.
I want to remind everyone of the 3-minute limit, and today we begin with Councilmember Forbes.
Thank you, Mayor. Happy Thanksgiving to my fellow council members, those that are here tonight and those that are watching on SGTV. I hope you all had a restful holiday with your families. Thank you to our speakers tonight. I'd like to acknowledge Alex Mixter and Alex DePerry for leading the Lee Mansion restoration, and for the Saginaw Community Foundation for lending their incredible help on that project as well. I could not be more pleased that the crowdfunding campaign is going so well, and I encourage you all to make your donations before the deadline at the end of the month so that we can be sure to get those matching funds from the MEDC. I, for one, will definitely be at the lighting of the Lee on Saturday between 4 and 8, and at the campaign toast at the end, by the way. Weekend before last, I was so pleased to have had the honor to participate in the holidays in the heart of the city, both on Friday night at the tree lighting and Saturday at the parade. I really think that this is one of my most favorite events in Saginaw, and I had just a great time with my neighbors celebrating the holiday together. Congrats to Grand Marshal Bill Georges. And so much hard work goes into these events. I think we take it for granted sometimes. So thank you to all the organizers of that event. A particular thanks to Councilwoman Scherzer for organizing us all at this front table. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Estes.
Good evening. Yeah, Mayor, I've got just a couple of things here, and I just want to recognize the fact that yesterday we have a really good organization in the city. It's Great Lakes Bay Health Centers. And yesterday was World AIDS Day. And I just want to say again that it's a topic that we probably don't talk enough about, but there's some really good services through Sacred Heart in Saginaw and also through the Hearth Home on Hoyt Avenue. I had the opportunity to participate in a great event. There was some free community dinners for Thanksgiving that were going on through the city here. And so a special thank you to Ames Church. I want to recognize them, and also the Savoy Restaurant. And I had the opportunity to work at the Savoy Restaurant again this year. This is my 10th year, and I think we did somewhere around over 500 dinners in about 4 hours. So thank you to those businesses and churches that do that for the city. It's something that's really, really well needed. Also attended the Holiday in the Heart of the City. It was a great event this year. Thank you to Autumn for putting all that together with our float. It was a lot of fun, and she'll be talking more about that later. But I do want to share an interesting thing that I found here when I was doing a little research on the Lee Mansion as well. I was reading about it on Facebook, and I found this to be really interesting because it actually ties back to Saginaw, the city of Saginaw. So Charles Lee had the mansion. His son Henry took over the business after Charles had passed away. Now, what's interesting is Henry, I'm going to read it so I don't get it wrong. Back in 1904 to 1906, Henry served as the mayor of Saginaw. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And also, he, like I said, he took over the lumber business. But also, Henry had a son named Russell. And this is where this gets kind of interesting. So Russell, he also worked for the city of Saginaw. And Russell, actually, when he retired in 1966 from the city hall as a service manager. Story goes that he was processing a lot of paperwork, and he had some pretty neat inventions to improve quality for the city. But also, Russell was responsible for over 3 decades of putting together the water tower lighting ceremony, and also for the city of for City Hall. So I thought that was just a really interesting piece that ties back to the Lee Mansion history as well. It seems like every time you open a book, you find another chapter of something that's been touched in the city of Saginaw. So that's all I have right now, Mayor, and thank you.
Thank you. Well, Councilmember Balls had to leave, so we will move on to Councilmember Milne.
Thank you, Mayor Clark. Wanted to mention 2 things and then a couple of holiday events. Last week we had the Human Planning Commission met for their emergency services grant session, and that is just the first of the community development block grant meetings they're going to be having, where people come in and make their presentation. It is the first step in the community development block grant process. They will make recommendations to the manager will look at those, and then they will come up to council in about February. So it is open to public coming in and listening to it, so keep your eyes on SGTV for the next sessions, I believe in January, on CDBG, as we call it. I'm going to let Autumn tell us more about the Christmas parade. So the holiday events I want to mention are upcoming. The Saginaw Exchange Club will be doing bell ringing for the Salvation Army this coming Saturday, the 7th. We're at the North Doors at Macy's out at Fashion Square Mall. And if anyone wants to drop by, we usually have a little candy cane for everyone, and that's our contribution to the Salvation Army at Christmas time. And I have one other to mention here. Yes, tomorrow, Tuesday, December 3rd, is Shop with a Hero. And that's at the Meyer stores at Tittabawassee this year and at Birch Run. And I believe that's 6 to 8 p.m. is when they do that. And if you want to see happy kids with first responders, sheriff's deputies, police officers, firemen, and ambulance personnel, go through a Meyer store on Tuesday evening and see what that's like. They get to fill a cart, they bring a shopping list, they're shopping for their family members, and the Myers people match it with a cartload of groceries for them. And this really makes a good Christmas for some very deserving youngsters in the Saginaw area. And I think that's going to be my remarks for this evening, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Scherzer.
Thank you, Mayor. So first I want to start off by sending my condolences to the family, the AKAs, and the NAACP for the loss of Ruby White. She passed away a few days ago, so if you could keep her family in your thoughts and prayers. She was a very involved woman in this community, and especially at the NAACP, so my thoughts and prayers go out to all of her family members. I want to first say thank you to, well, after that, say thank you to the city of Saginaw, because this year we have 13 departments competing in the Green Team Door Decorating Contest. And I've mentioned this a few times during council meetings, so I am one of the judges this year. So I look forward to seeing everybody on the 19th. And I can't wait to see your creativity this year. The YMCA, I am on the Membership and Programs Committee, so we are having a Christmas prayer at the YMCA on December 18th. That is the greatest day of the year. It is free. It starts at noon, and they are accepting donations to the Underground Railroad. So if you can come out, please join us. I hope to see Mr. Jordan there that day. But it's an invitation open to all council members in the entire community. So I know Commissioner Webster, I'm sure you'll be there as well. So, and then lastly, since the rest of the council has talked about it, I have to say thank you to Phil Carwatt, partner in crime, Don Riley, our driver, Jeremy, and the manager's office, and as well as everyone else on council for their participation with the Christmas parade, because we won the Saginaw Downtown Rotary Award for our participation in our float. So, Tim, you can put this in your office and take pictures next to it. But I want to say thank you to everybody, because it is a lot of hard work to coordinate something like that, but it was so worth it. And if you did not see pictures of it, we all have pictures on Facebook, and we'll definitely get them to the manager's office to post. But just want to say congratulations and to the city, because it was an awesome Christmas holiday in the hearts of the city, but also to city council, because we were all there in our Christmas gear. So that is all I have.
All right, thank you.
Can I hold this the rest of the meeting?
You can hold it right up, yes. Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
The mayor said he wasn't going to forget me tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank all of our speakers who spoke, and I'm sure that city manager will get back with you with some answers. The last 2 weeks have been real hectic. Thank you so much, Ms. Scherzer, for stepping up. This is the first time in 6 years I missed the parade. I missed all of the festivities because I was out of the area. There is a lot of stuff still coming up in the city of Saginaw before Christmas hits. Also, I'd like to remind the citizens, if you have any elderly people in your neighborhood, please check on them right now. The fire marshal always talks about smoke detectors. This is the time of the year when stuff happens, when you least expect it. If you're outside cooking, get away from the house. The saddest thing was to look at the news on Thanksgiving Day, and a lady was deep frying a turkey in it. Her whole house went up in smoke. So I'm encouraging everybody to be safe and to stay warm, and to Phil Carwatt, John Stemple, the city manager's office, thank y'all for kicking in. I missed the team this year, I truly did. I emailed, I text Councilman Bryant, and he said, you're supposed to be in the meeting. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for stepping up, and I was so proud to see on Facebook that you did attend the Anderson enrichment. Those that did, you don't understand what it really means to the citizens to see us in the community. If we want people to understand what we're doing, we have to be transparent. We have to let you know what we're doing, and we have to stay in the community. That is the only way that they're gonna know what we're doing. So I want to thank my colleagues for always holding the ship down. Thank you so much.
Councilmember Bryant. I'll pass. Oh, pass, okay. You had a lot of things that other people were going to cover, right? Or did cover. I do want to thank Chaplain Howard for being here and opening our meeting today. Also, Councilmember Scherzer mentioned, but I want to acknowledge we have the Saginaw County Commission Chairman, Michael Webster, here in the audience. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I think he's trying to keep tabs on us. I hope everyone did have a good Thanksgiving, and we did enjoy the holiday in the hearts of the city on the 22nd in the evening. There was thousands of people in attendance for the lighting ceremony at the waterworks and for all the other activities. And particularly want to thank all those other organizations that opened their doors to let people come in and see everything from the Mexican-American Center to, what were some of the others? There's
The church,
the church, yeah, the St. Andrew's Church. There were multiple places that were open for people to view and to enjoy the festivities. And then the next day, the parade, the Christmas parade, was the 42nd annual. So it's got a long tradition, and this one was very, very good and highly attended by people watching from the streets, and it was really a wonderful day for it. And again, kudos to Councilmember Scherzer for did a heck of a job of decorating with the assistance of a couple of our employees to get that decorated. So it was really, really enjoyable. The Saginaw Planning Commission had an opportunity this past week to hear a proposal for a new building downtown, so we're excited about that. Will be located just 2 blocks in the second block south of South Washington, and will fill in a vacant lot, which will be really wonderful. It does prove that we are on the upswing downtown, and people are believing in it and investing. And finally, the 2 things are the SBSO events. There's the next Christmas concert next Tuesday, December 10th at the Temple Theater. And the Holiday House Walk on Thursday, December 12th will feature, I think, at 6 houses throughout the region. So if you're interested in the concert or the house walk, please get tickets and enjoy. It's going to be wonderful, wonderful events for the upcoming season. So that's all I have. Madam Clerk?
Our next item is reports from the manager.
Mr. Manager?
Good evening. First, I'm going to ask Renee Johnston to come up to the podium and give us a brief update on item number 7 on the agenda, which is the Project Safe Neighborhood Grant. Renee?
Good evening, Mayor Clock, Mayor Pro Tem Moore, and City Council members, and Manager Morales. Thank you so much for letting me be here this evening. Just a quick update, as referenced, item 7, approval of the Project Safe Neighborhood Subrecipient Grant. I am excited to announce that the Saginaw Community Foundation was awarded a Project Safe Neighborhood Grant on behalf of an amazing collaboration with the Saginaw Police Department, the Michigan State Police, and many other community partners. This is an exciting time for the City of Saginaw and our law enforcement partners, as we will once again have an opportunity to make some more additional advancements in our law enforcement strategies. And I hope that we will receive your approval for that grant for the Saginaw Police Department to receive that sub-grant as a sub-grant recipient. And it'll be very exciting to see how they will be able to use $135,000 over the next 3 years to truly make some huge advancements in law enforcement strategies. This will be, once again, a 3-year opportunity for the City of Saginaw and the collaboration with law enforcement partners, as well as some community partners. And if it is your wish that we provide you with regular updates over the next 3 years, we'd be more than happy to do so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. And a few other items. I just wanted to mention that last Wednesday we did have pretty significant wins in the city, and wanted to thank the Streets Division for doing a lot of work Wednesday late into the evening. And I'm not sure if they were here on Thursday as well, and during Thanksgiving they were out. So I think they did a good job with that cleanup, so I wanted to thank them. And the Mayor Pro Tem and I and some staff members will be meeting with Senator Horn and Representative Guerra in, I think, about a week from today. So we do have some specific topics to talk about, but if you have any other items that you wanted us to consider, just email me, and we can bring up those items during the meeting as well. We also have our strategic planning session coming up in January, and I think we have a pretty full agenda. So we did meet with our council members this morning about the opt-in ordinance, and that will be the first topic during the meeting. An update on those ordinances by City Attorney Amy Lusk, and then after that, I asked the city clerk to present on the absentee voter laws, which I think Councilman Bryant asked for an update on that. There was still a lot of stuff to be worked out, and actually, our city clerk was on a committee with the state of Michigan to talk about some of those issues, so I think it should be a good update following that. We'll also have a presentation by the individual from Consumers Energy about electric vehicle charging and the potential there and some of what's going on in the state of Michigan. And finally, we'll have an update on some of the public safety analysis, data analysis that has been conducted for the city. So that's pretty full agenda, and at the end, we'll leave some time for our other council issues if there are other topics that you want to bring up. To go along with with what the mayor talked about that was presented at the planning session, the new building there downtown is actually where Larry's Lounge used to be located, and this is, I believe, the second new build we've had in the city under the new form-based zoning code that was adopted by council, and I don't think we've had any issues with the businesses, builders or developers complying with that. So two examples, one is across from Covenant, which is a different zone than this one, so you could see the two styles in the form-based zoning, where this building is required 3 stories and certain egress and ingress, and also I believe a brick building. So it's kind of showing how the form-based zoning is working and hoping to fit in with the current and existing architecture there. And finally, just to remind council and the public, the lead and copper rule change did come from the state of Michigan, and we try to do things as efficiently as possible in the water department. This project could range anywhere from, if we contracted out, would probably be well over $60 million. So it's not a small project that is easy to pay for with some other licenses or fees, so it did need to be built into the rates. And we had several discussions with the state of Michigan on how to pay for these items. It is a state mandate, so there are arguments there to be made that maybe it should be funded in another way. However, the state did not take any responsibility for the changes, so I would ask people, if this is something that you feel strongly about, to also contact Senator Horn and Representative Gare and let them know that this is an issue for us and several communities that have to comply with these new rules. And with that, that concludes management update.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Our next item is the consent agenda.
The agenda has been available at City Hall, on the city website, and on SGTV, Channel 191. Are there any exceptions to be noted by the clerk? Any exceptions to be noted? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Support. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Madam Clerk?
Our next item is board, commission, and committee reports.
Okay, are there any reports of city boards and commissions? We've had a couple already in comments, so is there any others? Any others? All right, hearing none, next.
We are now at the appointment of board and commission members.
And today there are multiple ones, so are there any exceptions to be noted by the clerk? Yes.
Exceptions for 1 and 2, please.
1 and 2. All right, anybody else? Anybody else? All right, is there a motion regarding item appointments numbers 3 through 9?
So moved.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried. Madam Clerk?
Item number 1, approve the council appointment of Augusta Alexander, Saginaw Transit Authority Regional Services with a term to expire January 31st, 2021.
Councilman Forbes?
I would just like a roll call vote for that, if that's all right.
Okay. And would that be the same with number 2?
Yes, please.
So could we do both number 1 and number 2 at the same time? Yes.
Would you like me to state number 2 as well?
Yes.
Approve the council reappointment of Larry Jones Sr. to the Saginaw Transit Authority Regional Services with a term to expire December 31st, 2022.
Is there a motion to approve both of those at this time?
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Hearing none, hearing none, let's have a roll call vote on both as a joint.
Councilmember Forbes.
Abstain?
Councilmember Bryant.
Yes.
Councilmember Bench is excused. Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Scherzer.
Yes.
Councilmember Millen.
Aye.
Councilmember Balls has excused himself. Councilmember Ostash.
Aye.
And Mayor Clark.
Aye.
You have 6 yes votes.
All right, it's carried. Next item.
We are now at resolutions. We have one on the agenda this evening. It's authorizing the revised ballot language for the Stars Millage proposal.
This also has been available to council members. Is there a motion regarding the regarding the revised ballot language?
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion?
Could I request a roll call for this as well?
All right. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Forbes.
Abstain?
Councilmember Bryant.
Yes.
Councilmember Bench is excused. Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Scherzer.
Yes.
Councilmember Millen.
Aye.
Councilmember Balls has excused himself. Councilmember Ostash.
Aye.
And Mayor Clark.
Yes.
You have 6 yes votes on that as well.
Okay, carried again. Okay, last item. We've already done miscellaneous business, but is there any other business to come before council? Any other unfinished business? Anybody? All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. We are adjourned.